Welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast. Chad Hyams is over here and Bob Stewart is over there. Bob, it makes me think of Grover, near and far. I don't know if you're near and I'm far, or whether I'm far, you're
Grover,
near.
near and far. Is that like a Sesame Street thing?
You don't remember Grover with near and far? Okay,
I remember Red Rover.
Help us with this one and tell me you remember. He would stand close to the screen, like really close, like Bob, how close I am to you right now. Yeah. And he would say, near. And then he would run and he'd be really back here on the TV and be like, far. And then
I remember now. I'm having a vague recollection. At first, all I can think of when you said Grover was Red Rover, send Grover right over. But that's two things being combined into one. It's not even the same thing. Sorry.
No, Grover's the purple Muppet.
I get it. He's got the funny nose. Yeah.
No, that's from the Muppet Show.
Oh,
that's
that?
Gonzo.
Gonzo, dang it.
Grover was the one who did the arms at the beginning of the Muppet Show in the circle, but he was Sesame Street. Did you not grow up on Sesame? Oh my God.
I did. I'm old.
Big Bird, yellow one, tall.
I got that. Elmo.
Oscar, green one in the garbage can.
Yeah, the garbage can. Yep.
Ernie and Bert.
Count Drac. This was the Count there.
The Count.
Yeah.
Okay. Snuffleupagus.
All those guys.
Grover was Elmo before Elmo showed up.
Yeah. Roger that.
All right.
I got it.
What?
Not Gonzo. Not Gonzo.
All right, I'm off my soapbox here, folks. Grover was hands down the best of them.
Wow.
Okay.
All you got to do to set Chad Hyams off is confuse Grover and Gonzo. Who knew?
Not all. Gonzo was the one with the chickens. He had all the chickens that loved him, that followed him around on the Muppet Show.
That's right.
He wasn't a Sesame Street guy, though. All right, Bob Stewart. What's going on your end of the world other than...
I don't know. You know what you need to do? You need to shift your mindset away from being so mad about these Muppets.
Bob Stewart with the segue. Bob, why'd you mention that in your segue?
Well, Chad, today's episode is a little bit of a setup for the next couple of weeks. And this is, we're maybe taking a page, not that we've run out of things to talk about, but every once in a while, we're like, all right, what's the next few months going to look like, right? And we start to plan out a little bit further than just next week. And we're taking a page out of the way, like something I used to talk about from a content creation perspective. We're going to do a series, Chad. And we've done this a few times along the way, right? We've obviously had the Wealth series. You guys should go and check that one out. We've had one on emotional intelligence, and we've had a couple of series over time. But so for the next few episodes, today we're going to set it up. And over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about some different kind of mindset shifts, Chad, that really could... we look back a year from now and we realize we've maybe transitioned our mindset in a few different places could really bring us some outsized results.
All right, Bob. So I'm going to give the plug. If you go to winmakegive.com, everybody, right on the main page, you'll see free series right up on top. It'll give you a link right to the Wealth Series 2.0, the Emotional Intelligence series, the Influence and Persuasion series, the Talent series, and the Traits of a Winner series. All series we've done in the past. We thought it was time for a new series, Mindset Shifts That Scale. Right? That's the series we're working on right now for all of you. And we want to help you figure out how your mindset shift can scale in so many ways, right? Mindset determines, Bob, how we approach opportunity. Mindset determines how we handle every situation, how we manage our time, how we build our relationships. If my mindset is one way, and I was just recording a podcast on Achieve Your Apex, Bob, so the numbers were brought back to my mind. We've talked about this a lot. You have about 60,000 thoughts in a day. 80% of them are negative, and 95% are just repetitive thoughts from yesterday. Folks, if your mindset is negative, what's that going to do to your opportunities? What's that going to do when you have a setback? What's that going to do when you're managing your time, especially when something goes wrong? And what's that going to do to help you build and develop new and improve current relationships if your mindset 80% of the time already is negative?
Chad, I as we were doing research on this and kind of digging into this over the last few days, I read something that really resonated with me. And it was like, skills matter.
Yes.
Right. Like the ability to build relationships is a skill. What I say when I'm on the phone is a skill. I think, how curious I am is a skill. These are all things that I can build up, but mindset or attitude is a magnifier of our skills. Like when I read that, I was like, oh, wow. That makes a lot of sense. Like I could be really like, let's just go right into our world. And I see this all the time, right? I could be pretty darn good on the phones, Chad. I could ask the right questions. I could say the right thing in those first 4 seconds to gain their attention. But if my attitude stinks, like it might ruin my skill, right? Like I might be good, but all of a sudden my stinky attitude is magnifying my skills like in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Right? I get off the calls that don't turn into big wins, and I'm like, these leads suck, man. I don't know. Now I'm calling the next one, and even though, like, that's different than no big deal. Like that one wasn't ready to buy, but I bet the next one will be, right? Like your mindset will magnify your skills either positively or negatively.
Yeah, like when it comes to your wealth, right? If you have limitations on it, if you think negatively towards wealth, we talk about it in the wealth series, we'll talk about it here as well, where if I think negatively, like, right, rich people are, so poor is better. And that you've got that mindset that's negatively taking any skills you've developed in wealth development, right? Leadership, whatever that's going to be. And I think you're absolutely right, Bob. So folks, give yourself a score, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, give yourself a score of your skill level. Now, take your mindset, as Bob has just said, and make that a multiplier. So you're really good at your script. So you're an 8 out of 10. You have a shitty attitude. You're an 8 out of 20, right? Because you get the multiplier of 1. That's it. Maybe it's even negative 1 or 2, like Bob's saying. Otherwise, maybe you get a multiplier of 5 because now all of a sudden your score out of 10 is, I don't know, 8 times 5, Bob, 40. There you go. I got that. Okay. Putting us on, you understand what we're saying. And that's why we figured this was a series to develop. So Bob, give me the 4. We won't dive into them. We're going to dive into them in future. You give me the 4 episodes that are going to follow this one in our mindset shifts that scale. Episode 1 is going to be what, Bob?
We're going to talk about the shift is going to be from scarcity to abundance, Chad.
And we're going to focus on which area with that, Bob?
Wealth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So folks, the wealth series, we're going to abbreviate it a lot, right? 1 episode instead of, I think it was 16 or something that we did.
I mean, look, this matters, Chad. Like if you don't think it's possible, it's not, right? If you can't even envision having $1 million of a net worth, you won't. If you think that every additional opportunity that you generate is taking away from somebody else that you still care. No, like we got to have this abundance mindset. How do we go from, and look, a lot of us, I don't know, maybe it's just poor people. Like I was raised in a scarcity mindset. I remember watching my mom look at her checkbook and seeing the stress of her realizing we had $4 left at the end of the month, or like that's, it's a real thing that a lot of us have, this idea that there's not enough. And when I get mine, I got to keep it and hoard it. Right. So we'll talk about scarcity to abundance.
And I was on the other side of that, Bob. We were middle class, right? So, I mean, it wasn't that we were wealthy. We were middle class though. I had the mindset of money will just keep coming in. So spend it. Right. And it ended up causing me bankruptcy in my life, things like that, because it stopped coming in, because I was just a believer, yeah, whatever, it's just going to keep, I buy, I spend, I'm a consumer. It's my job to drive the economy. So it's interesting when we talk about that, the mindset that we have versus the mindset I've shifted to. And I know I've watched you shift to as well through the wealth series as we went through 1 and then updated it to 2.0. Okay. So that's shift 1, scarcity to abundance. We're going to talk about the wealth shift. Bob, shift 2 is what?
I mean, this is probably I don't know, maybe this is my favorite. From busy to intentional, Chad. We're going to shift our energy.
Yes.
I mean, this one's how many people right now on this call feel busy, but you look around you and you're like, that guy does the similar things to me, but he gets twice the results.
Yep,
Like,
sure.
he seems busy too. Why is he doing twice as much as me in the same number of hours in the day? This is simply going from, hustle, Chad, to clarity.
Yeah, the hustle economy, right? How busy does that make us, Bob? You're right. And we're going to talk about some energy audits, how to eliminate distractions, things like that to help you go from busy to intentional, which will be the energy shift. Bob, shift 3.
From control to collaboration. This is for all of our. We should make my wife listen to this one. She's she likes to make sure everything's under control and everything's scheduled. And look, which I appreciate because I'm probably the opposite in the bad direction. But from control to collaboration, right? Most of the people listening here are leading somebody. Maybe it's themselves or their families, or a lot of us, it's our business. Chad, this is all about like leadership and delegation and partnering with people and trusting that they're going to get the job done, right? Just giving up a little bit of control and turning into partnership and collaboration.
Yeah, and we're calling this one shift 3, which is from control to collaboration, the who shift, right? Making sure we're bringing those right people around us. And Bob, shift 4 will be?
From outcome to process. And we're going to define this one as the discipline shift. And honestly, for me, this is a tough one. I've spent a lot of time, as a business owner, like ultimately the outcomes are what matter, Chad. Like I need those closings to pay the bills, for example, or I need those subscriptions to keep the doors open, right? And so a lot of us get really, really zeroed in on the outcomes. But the reality is, in most of our businesses that have been ultra successful, it's because we have like really focused on the process, believing we'll get to the right outcome. So that would be shift number 4, is shifting from this mindset or this focus on outcomes to the process that gets us there.
Habits, not hype. Habits, not hype is what we'll be talking about. So folks, before we go on, tell you what to expect and all that kind of stuff, which one of these is already screaming at you? Or which one of these 4 is already saying to you, ooh, I got to listen to that episode, right? Which one is saying, hey, I'm strong in that one. I already feel like, oh, if I skip that episode, I'm probably okay. You're probably not. Yet I'm probably okay. You're thinking, think about that. Now, are these episodes that you should then share with your organization, share with the people who are following you, share with a few friends? Is there someone like Bob had said with shift 3, oh, his wife needs to hear that one? Is there someone whose name came to mind with each of the shifts that you should get them to subscribe now and become part of the journey? Or remember to share that episode when we get there with them. So Bob, wrap this up for us. It's a short episode, folks. I know you're sitting there and you're like, well, I've got a 30-ish minute drive. I like listening to the boys talk, and we're just teasing you for what's coming. Bob, how do you want to pull it all together here at the end?
Well, here's what I would say. If you're getting the results that you want, right? You're hitting your goals this year, Chad. Your relationships are killing it. Things are going really awesome. Like, tune us out for the next month, because high five, like you're good. And the reality is nothing that we talk about is going to change your behavior anyway, right? But if you're not hitting your goals this year, maybe you look around you and you go, I didn't even set very high goals. Maybe you're looking around and going, I don't have any goals. But like, if you want to change your behavior, look, we're getting really close. I don't know when this will drop, Chad, September, maybe it'll be early October or something. We're getting really close to like starting to think about next year. And some of you guys, like your activities today are already setting up your business for next year. But what I would say to you is, if you do want some kind of a change, maybe join along with us for the next few weeks, because that change is going to start with your mindset. Like, you are not going to change your behavior keeping the same mindset. You're not going to change your outcomes. You're not going to change anything with the same mindset. We're going to need to grow it. And Chad and I are going to try to help us do that over the next few weeks.
We're not here to just bring some inspiration that turns into motivation. We're here to bring transformation over the next 4 episodes in this series. Obviously, they'll be interdispersed with some other episodes that we have, because small shifts in your thinking will change the way you show up day in and day out in every area of your life.
I got one
So
ask, Chad. I have one ask for everybody. I want everybody right now, I want you to close your eyes.
Not if you're driving.
Oh, yeah. Not if you're driving. If you're driving, pull over first. So let me start over. I want everybody to get in a position where they're safe and they're not moving. And I want them to close their eyes, and I want them to imagine the biggest Eeyore they know in their life. You know what an Eeyore is, Chad?
I absolutely do, right? I know Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
I know Eeyore.
What happened to Eeyore all the time? What was his major complaint?
The cloud followed him everywhere he went. It was always raining.
His tail.
Tail was missing.
Right? My tail. Eeyore. I want you to think of the biggest Eeyore you know, and then I want you to share the Win, Make, Give podcast with them and let them know that over the next 4 weeks, they've got a chance to change that Eeyore thinking and be a little bit more like Winnie the Pooh. Okay?
There you go.
Go find your Eeyore. That's what I want everybody to do, Chad. That's my one ask on our setup episode here as we get ready to unroll.
Bob, can I plus your ask?
Yeah, plus my ask, please.
I don't want him to go from Eeyore to Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
I want him to go all the way to Tigger.
Tigger, yeah. We want them bouncing around on their tail.
I want the happy bounce that everything is good in your world, folks. Join us as we help you go from Eeyore to Winnie the Pooh all the way to Tigger on the Win, Make, Give podcast. Until our next episode.
Wait. Before you end it, I think we should have Dave name this the 80s children's cartoon episode or something. Because we just hit Sesame Street, the Muppets, and Winnie the Pooh. Pretty good.
He names them whatever I put on the spreadsheet. So you got it, Bob Stewart. I'll take care of that. Until our next episode, folks, as always, do good.